Hi guys! Good evening! Happy Valentine's sa inyo. And itong video na to ay mag-talk si Habi and i-share niya yung part niya or side kung paano kami nag-meet. And then, may vlog na ako last year kung paano ko nahanap si Habi. So, ito yung aking vlog. If you like, panoorin nyo yung aking vlog.
Guys, today is Valentine's Day, and what better day than talk about me and my wife's love story, how we met. It is quite a special story with a lot of romance, a lot of love, and a lot of happy emotions and happy feelings. So I hope you will enjoy this story, which really fits Valentine's Day. Our love story started in 2016, in June, 5th June, when I registered at a dating site on the internet using a web browser on my computer. And first I was talking to someone there, and that conversation didn't pan out. But after that, I got a message from a woman. A very cute woman. She had a profile pic, and I could see she was very pretty. Was zoomed in, and a bit bluish color of the profile pic, right? You remember that profile pic? And we started talking, and we had a good conversation going on the dating site. She told me she was a bit stressed because of all the political discussions that were in Philippines at that time, because this was close to an election, and we had interesting conversation. After that, she asked me what my name was on Skype, and she called me on Skype. I was at my computer with a webcam, and she was in Butuan this time, at her brother-in-law and sister's house. And she was using a tablet to talk to me through Skype. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And we had a good, interesting conversation. And she was a very nice girl. Really nice to talk to. Of course, I didn't know that it would be my future wife that time. But that's how it ended up in the end. So the second day, she started messaging me on Skype, asking me when I would get home from work. And she called me, and at this time she was with her mom, who was visiting from Cabadbaran. And I remember it was night in Philippines when we were talking. And it was evening for me because I was talking when I came home from work. About 5 to 5:30 p.m. And we continued having good conversations. I said hello to her mom through the tablet. And we were talking about a little bit this, a little bit of that. And I tried to teach her some Swedish words. And I showed her how to play Duolingo to learn Swedish. And she seemed to really appreciate that. And every day I came home from work, she was there, very interested and excited to talk to me when I get home. It was really fun to have someone so excited to talk to you when you get home from work. And after that first week, she asked me if I wanted to be more serious about our conversations and relationship, since we were talking every day, or if we were just wasting time. So I decided, since this was a really fine, cute lady, and she was really nice to talk to, I thought, yeah, we could have a serious conversation and be a real couple. So after the first week, we decided that we would be a serious couple. Boyfriend and girlfriend. Right? She was still staying in Butuan at this time, but her sister and brother-in-law, they were flying to Manila to do some
Paperwork
some
for US.
paperwork for US visa. So then she was staying alone for a few days in her apartment closer to the school. And we kept talking every evening. And we decided that we wanted to meet, but now we were a bit short on time because a sister and brother-in-law, they would soon move to USA. And I didn't have a lot of weeks left on my vacation. I had 5 weeks of vacation, but my vacation had just started at that time. So we decided that I should book an airplane trip to Philippines and meet her there before her brother-in-law and sister traveled to USA and before my vacation was up. So I booked a ticket, and the date of the flight arrived. I was flying from Arlanda in Sweden, which is the big airport near Stockholm. I fly through Dubai to Cebu. And when I came to Cebu, I had to wait during the night before taking the airplane to Butuan in the morning. When I arrived at the international airport in Cebu, I bought a SIM card. What was the carrier I bought? Do you remember that? You could buy a SIM card at the airport and plug in your phone, and I could message my beautiful honey bunch that I had arrived in Philippines and I was at Cebu airport. I had received my luggage and I was headed for the hotel, which was right across the road from the airport. It was called the Waterfront Hotel, where I was staying the night before my flight early in the morning. So we were talking while I was staying in the hotel, excited about the next day. And the next day I went to the hotel restaurant and had a hotel breakfast, which was really nice and fresh, good quality breakfast. And after that I went to the airport again to check in for my Philippine Airlines flight to Butuan. And I remember the flight departed earlier than anticipated on the ticket because all the customers had arrived earlier. So it departed about 30 minutes earlier. And then I arrived at Butuan Airport, which was very different from the international airport in Cebu. The international airport in Cebu was very large, very modern, like any other international airport with all the facilities. But the airport in Butuan was a bit more modest, and you just left the plane on the to the tarmac and went into a building where you picked up your luggage, and then you left that house and you were in a big crowd of people waiting for people who were arriving by the airplane. And one of the people there waiting for me was my honey bunch, dressed in a red dress, waiting with her family and a van which would help me the rest of the day, transporting me. Our first stop after picking me up from the airport was a coffee shop called Bo's Coffee, where we had some coffee, everyone. And after that, we went to the Robinson Hotel in Butuan and ate at the Jerry's restaurant. There I remember they had a lot of tuna dishes, and fried. What is it called? The rings. Calamari.
Calamari.
Yeah, fried calamari, rice and spring rolls. After eating at the restaurant, I was very full by now because I had hotel breakfast, been at the coffee shop, had an early lunch at the Jerry's restaurant, and after that we drove with a van to Kabadbran, which was the city that our family was staying in, since they had moved out of the house in Butuan, waiting to move to USA. When we arrived at Kabadbran, we were staying at a resort close by the river, but in the middle of the city, with a wooden gate that they opened for our van to get into the resort. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. So we were sleeping there during the night, and we were visiting your house, where your family lived, during the day. So you were introducing me to your neighbors and your dogs and the carabao. She let me ride the carabao. And after that, we went to Butuan for the last few days of my trip. And we were staying at the Go Hotel in the Robinson Mall. We were doing a lot of things, checking out the stores in the mall. We were visiting another mall called Gaisano in the city. Also visited your gym. But we had a good time there in Butuan. We traveled around the city in multicabs and tricycles. And at the end of the week, her family came visiting us in Butuan, and we were eating at the Max restaurant. And there I proposed to her that we should get married, because she was such a nice, lovely girl, and we had a lot of fun during that week, and I felt that we really did fit together well. Do you think we fit well together? That's how we got engaged at the Max restaurant, and her mother was there, and I asked her mother
First.
if she was fine with me marrying her daughter, and her mother said yes. Do you remember that? Mm. And well, that was the last day of my first trip to Philippines. After that, we took the multicab to the airport, and you said goodbye and sent away your lovely honey bunch away from Philippines, back to Sweden. I fly from Butuan to Cebu, and then had a pretty long wait in Cebu before the international flight through Dubai back to Arlanda in Stockholm, and then a bus trip from Arlanda back to Örebro, where I was staying. Mm-hmm. So that's the first time how we met. First part of our love story. We have a lot of topics that we should talk about, but today we focus on our love stories since it's Valentine's Day, but for future vlogs we're going to talk about other topics. So I recommend that you take the chance and suggest topics for us in the comments, and we'll see if we can expand on those things. What do you say?
Yeah, that's really good idea. So, dito na lang natin i-end yung ating video, guys. I hope nag-enjoy kayo sa storytelling ni Habi. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.